Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chicago Fire star clarifies whether Carver is in love with Stella Kidd. Chicago Fire is no stranger to complicated dynamics. The show thrives on its ability to bring different characters together and taking them in unpredictable but ultimately satisfying directions. The bond between Sam Carver, Jake Lockett, and Stella Kidd, Miranda Ray Mayo, is undoubtedly one of the most unique the show has come up with in recent years, though. Initially posed as enemies, Carver and Kidd grew extremely close during season 11. So close, in fact, that it led to the latter second-guessing her feelings and pulling back from spending time with Carver in the absence of her husband, Kelly Severide, Taylor Kinney. Things have cooled off between Carver and Kidd ever since, but the remnants of their bond remain. This was obvious during the season 12 finale, when Violet Mikami, Hanako Greensmith, accused the firefighter of secretly being in love with Kidd. It was a shocking sentiment to communicate it aloud, and it's something that has been hotly debated by fans. Is Carver actually in love with Kidd? Well, Jake Lockett weighed in on the topic during a recent interview with TV Line. The actor acknowledged the strong bond Carver and Kidd have, but he's actually pretty skeptical when it comes to the love aspect of their relationship. This makes quite a bit of sense when one steps back and looks at Carver's life. The character has been through unspoken amounts of trauma from a young age, and has translated said trauma to a career in which he regularly puts himself on the line. It's worth noting that the incident that really brought Carver and Kidd together was the bomb scare in the season 11 episode Nemesis. Kidd threw herself in front of Carver to protect him, and wound up suffering serious wounds as a result. This sacrifice, this visceral, heightened space, is something Carver knows all too well, and so it stands to reason that he would connect so deeply with someone who knows what he's gone through. We do not see any version of the show in which Kidd breaks things off with Severide to be with Carver, and so this progression, this moving away from the crush on Kidd, is baked into Carver's development as a central character. Jake Lockett, the actor behind the enigmatic Sam Carver on Chicago Fire, has sparked plenty of discussions among fans regarding his character's dynamic with Stella Kidd, portrayed by Miranda Ray Mayo. The tension, camaraderie, and undercurrents between Carver and Kidd have fueled speculation. Is it strictly professional, or does Carver harbor deeper feelings for his lieutenant? In a recent interview, Lockett addressed these swirling rumors and offered insight into Carver's mindset. A complex bond. From the moment Carver joined Firehouse 51, his presence was polarizing. The tough, mysterious firefighter came with baggage, from a strained history with Severide to a prickly relationship with Kidd. But as the season progressed, audiences witnessed a softer side of Carver emerge, especially in scenes with Kidd. Whether it was through their shared moments on a challenging call or a quiet exchange of mollies, there was an undeniable connection. When asked point-blank if Carver is in love with Kidd, Lockett didn't dodge the question. "I think Carver respects Stella more than he's respected anyone in a long time," he said thoughtfully. "There's a level of admiration he has for her that's hard for him to articulate. But love? That's a loaded word. Is there an attraction? Sure, but it's complicated. Professionalism versus personal feelings." Lockett elaborated on the challenges of portraying Carver's internal conflict. "Carver's the kind of guy who struggles with vulnerability," he explained. "He sees Stella as someone who embodies strength, loyalty, and passion, qualities he wishes he could fully embrace in himself. That admiration can sometimes blur the lines for Carver, especially when he feels like she sees through his tough exterior." Stella's leadership style has been a cornerstone of her character arc. Whether dealing with interpersonal issues within the firehouse or navigating life-threatening emergencies, she's earned her crew's loyalty. For Carver, this leadership seems to strike a chord. "She doesn't just lead with authority, she leads with heart," Lockett said. "That's something Carver hasn't experienced often. It's not about romance for him as much as it's about realizing what he's been missing, someone who genuinely cares and expects the best out of him." The elephant in the room. Severide. Of course, any speculation about Carver's feelings for Kidd must account for one major factor: her marriage to Kelly Severide, Taylor Kinney. Stella and Severide's relationship is one of the most beloved elements of Chicago Fire, so the idea of a potential romantic triangle involving Carver has some fans on edge. Carver respects Severide, Lockett assured. There's no intention of stepping on toes. If anything, Carver sees Severide as someone who's been through battles similar to his own and come out stronger. There's a bit of envy there, but it's not malicious. It's more like, how do I get to that level of stability? Still, the show hasn't shied away from hinting at tension. In one memorable scene, Carver and Kid shared a conversation that felt loaded with unspoken words. Those moments are intentional, Lockett admitted. They're meant to make you wonder what's going on beneath the surface. Fans weigh in. The fandom is deeply divided on the nature of Carver and Kid's bond. Some viewers argue that their chemistry is purely platonic, built on mutual respect and trust forged in high-stakes situations. Others believe there's more to the story, pointing to subtle glances and lingering interactions as evidence. One fan tweeted, "Carver is clearly falling for Kid, but I don't think he even realizes it. That's what makes it so compelling to watch." Another wrote, "The writers better not mess with Stella and Severide. Carver can find someone else to admire." Lockett is aware of the passionate discussions among fans and finds them amusing. "It's amazing how invested people are," he said with a laugh. "At the end of the day, it's a testament to the writing and how layered these characters are." Looking ahead, so what's next for Carver and Kid? Without revealing spoilers, Lockett hinted that their relationship will continue to evolve. There are some big moments coming up that will test Carver's loyalty and his ability to keep his emotions in check, he teased. Stella's going to need her team more than ever, and Carver's going to have to step up in ways he hasn't before. The actor also noted that viewers might see more of Carver's backstory in future episodes. Understanding where he's coming from will help explain some of his choices, Lockett said. He's not the kind of guy who falls easily, but when he does, it's intense. Whether that applies to Stella or not, well, you'll have to wait and see. The bigger picture. While the question of whether Carver is in love with Kid remains unresolved, Lockett emphasized that the heart of Chicago Fire lies in its portrayal of family, both biological and chosen. At the end of the day, these characters are there for each other, he said. Love comes in many forms, and not all of it is romantic. Carver's journey is about finding where he belongs and who he can trust. Stella's a big part of that, but it doesn't mean it's about romance. As Chicago Fire continues to explore the complexities of its characters, fans can expect more twists, turns, and emotionally charged moments. For now, though, the nature of Carver and Kid's relationship remains a tantalizing mystery, one that's sure to keep audiences guessing. In the meantime, Lockett had one final message for fans. Keep watching. There's so much more to come. And remember, just because two people have chemistry doesn't mean they're meant to be together. Sometimes it's the tension that makes the story worth telling.